Iran is now taunting President Trump for asking American allies for help in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran's foreign minister said of the U.S., quote, "They carried out large-scale attacks and again repeated the demand for unconditional surrender. Today, they are turning to other countries for help." He also argued the Strait of Hormuz is, quote, "only closed to our enemies." Joining us now to discuss this and more is former Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia. Thanks for coming on, Congresswoman. So we all know you were a longtime loyal supporter of President Trump, but you broke with him in part because you felt he was too focused on foreign affairs rather than the America First promises he made on the campaign trail. As we enter day 17 of the Iran war, do you believe the president's voters can trust him?
Well, just to be clear, the president broke with me over the Epstein files. So that always has to be said. He called me a traitor because I stood with women who were raped when they were 14 and 16. But I do completely disagree where the president has led the country. You know what? It makes absolutely no sense, Pamela, going into midterm elections. Let's remove Donald Trump out of it. Let's just put any president in there. Why would an American president lead his political party into the midterms, waging a full-scale major war, completely unprovoked on Iran, on behalf of Israel? And that's the way most Americans see it. They see this is for Israel, not for America. Why would an American president do that, which is forcing gas prices to hike right here going into spring break, where families are going to be driving out of town, going into summer, declaring and waging a major full-scale war that seems to have no end in sight, that is not de-escalating, it's escalating every single day. And it just doesn't make sense. And the American people did not vote for this. This is not what we campaigned for, Pamela. I went to, I can't even tell you, countless rallies all over the country for President Trump, campaigning for him and Republicans because we wanted to win. And we said on every single rally stage, no more foreign wars, no more regime change. It's time to put America first. And this is a complete betrayal of those campaign promises.
So is that what you're hearing on the ground in Georgia, where obviously there are a lot of Trump supporters where you are? Are you hearing from them that they believe President Trump is doing this on behalf of Israel? Bring us there.
It's actually very split, and it's split along generational lines. Many of the older Americans from the baby boomer generation that watch Fox News all day long very much believe the talking points on Fox News, and they've spent decades of their lives convinced that fighting these wars is the right thing to do. But the younger generations, I'm Gen X, millennials, and Gen Z are very much against this war. And so when you talk to people on the ground, that's how it comes across. It's very generational, and the younger generations are completely against it. We want world peace. We want good trade. We want a great economy. We want to lower inflation, lower the cost of housing, and younger generations want to be able to afford their American lives, and they don't want their taxpayer dollars shipped off to, and you can fill in any foreign country. We'll take Israel out of it. They don't want their money sent overseas. And you know what? They're right for saying this. This is absolutely absurd, and it's 100% a betrayal to what MAGA was supposed to be when we voted in 2024, and it's turned into some perverted, deranged version of MAGA now that nobody wants. And a lot of people are just like, this doesn't make sense. And I'll go further, Pamela. We love our military, and God bless the men and women serving, and we love their families, and we do not want to see flag-draped coffins coming home in a war that does nothing for our own homeland. And then I want to add on something else. How insulting is it to Americans that the GOP can't even fund Homeland Security right now, our own government that protects our own homeland, while they're waging some war like 6,800 miles away in a country that none of us have ever been to, against a foreign people that none of us know, killing many of these people, even to the point of killing their children. It's just absolutely absurd.
I want to follow up with you on what you just said. You said, you have been on stages, you campaigned for President Trump, and part of that was no more foreign wars. Vice President Vance has lambasted past administrations for sending American troops into conflicts without a clear mission. And even President Trump said that Vance himself expressed some reservations about the Iran war at first. Do you think this war hurts Vice President Vance's chances of becoming President Trump's successor in 2028?
The longer it goes on, it definitely does hurt J.D. Vance, and that's someone that I campaigned for aggressively. I was the first member of Congress to endorse him in the Senate, and I was one of the loudest voices in the room asking for him to be vice president, the vice presidential candidate. J.D. Vance and I are very aligned in our policy beliefs in America First, as well as Tulsi Gabbard and others in the administration. Though we all see things very much the same way, but we're also the younger generation. And I can tell you, I won't speak for anyone, but there are people in the administration, high up in the administration, I know that don't support this. But the longer they stay silent, it hurts them. It definitely hurts them in the future.
I know you don't want to name names, but I mean, it raises the question whether you have spoken directly to the Vice President J.D. Vance and what your message is to those Republicans you've been speaking to who are in positions of power, who are not speaking publicly and staying silent in this moment.
Well, I'm not saying that I did speak with the vice president, and I'm not saying who I have spoken to or have not spoken to. I know where they're at on the issue, and I leave it up to them to come public with it. They know that their base, they know that the large majority of Americans, especially younger Americans, that's the future of America, are 1,000% against this. And, my parents are the baby boomer generation. There's so many good, peace-loving baby boomers that are against war, and God bless them for that. But the baby boomers in power, the ones clinging to power right now, it feels like they're literally wrecking the ship, that we're all on board, and that they're destroying our future. Like, when are we going to get Social Security checks? We don't know. Are our children ever going to have any type of future like all of us did? It doesn't seem likely. And this war is going out of control. And, it's really insulting to watch America's position in the world, where the president just bullies and name calls and basically harasses foreign leaders all over the world and many of our allies, to the point now where he's calling them in to help open the strait so that these very important oil ships can get through. Many of them are not responding. And here Americans spent, trillions of dollars in our tax dollars defending all of our allies with military bases on these countries' homelands, protecting them, especially Europe and NATO, but yet they are not quick to respond. But I would argue it's because of the way the president has been treating them. And this is pushing America into a very serious situation that we should not be in. We should not be losing our relationships with countries all over the world. We should not be getting further and further ingrained into a very violent and dangerous, serious war with Iran that has very serious future implications. And we should not be seeing our great military men and women coming home in flag-draped coffins. It needs to end.
I'm just wondering, given what you laid out, do you regret your past support for President Trump, campaigning for him and being so vocal about your support, given your concerns now?
Pamela, I meant everything I said on the campaign trail in 2024. The part that is disheartening to me is that it appears to not only myself but many others that President Trump did not mean it. And we are basing that on his actions and his decisions and the priorities that he has made important and first to him, which are 100% departure of what we campaigned on in 2024. So I would, to answer that, nothing has changed about me. I'm America First. I'm conservative. I have a voting record to prove it. But I cannot support this president when he completely turns his back on MAGA and what he sold to the American people for so many years in his campaign promises in 2024.